You see, my identity as a Latina is a complicated one. My family tree was a purely Irish-American one with a grandma named Kathleen McCaffrey, a great-grandma named Molly O'Keefe, and a mom named Anne Marie Jackson. And our tree only got some sabor in it when my mom left her home in Detroit, Michigan, and went on a year-long study abroad program in Colombia in the 1970s. And she ended up falling in love with Alberto Leonardo Balcazar. I don't know why I have to say it that way, but I did. So, of Bogota, and they had a massive love affair, and they married in Texas. Had my sister and I, had my sister and I 70s-ish. And then just like 50% of couples, they divorced when I was 18 months old. So my mom got remarried to my American dad from East Texas when I was 4 years old. And it was the two of them that raised me for the better part of 4 decades. I grew up in Texas, Oklahoma, Wyoming. Even though my DNA was half Colombian, my identity was pura gringa from Wyoming. It wasn't until I was choosing my own year-long study abroad location in 1996 that things started to change for me. I was dead set on going to Africa, but when that didn't pan out due to political and economic reasons, my mom was like, why don't you go to Latin America? Why don't you go learn Spanish? And so I picked up the study abroad catalog, and I randomly chose Colombia out of all the options because it literally had the best beaches. I'm not kidding, that's how shallow I am. So I didn't go to discover my roots, but discover my roots I did. I learned to salsa. I swam in the Caribbean for the first time. We're going to go quickly on this one because there's a bikini bit. But anyway, I swam in the Caribbean for the first time, and I fully embraced this newfound Latinidad that was far bigger and more colorful and more exciting than I could have ever imagined. And little did I know that my mom and my Colombian dad, who I hadn't spoken to in 10 years, plus years, had been conspiring behind my back about this trip. And they had orchestrated the entire thing to have me connect with my family when I was there. I met cousins. I met cousins and aunts and uncles for the first time. And I attended, I don't know, I attended this Balcazar family reunion with 200 other Balcazars. Granted, I was the prima vega, but I was embraced fully by this warm, loving community that was part of me, even though I didn't know it for the first 19 years. And I'll tell you, I won't pretend that my identity issues were instantly solved after this year in Colombia, but I will attest the gap between my DNA and my chosen identity narrowed significantly thereafter. I now take great pride in the Irish-Colombian blood that flows through these veins, and with pride, I check all boxes that signify color and sabor, music and worth. Now that I'm a mom of 2 girls, it's important for me to share this identity with my daughters. I took them to Colombia to meet their family 2 years ago. They harvested coffee. They ate ajiaco and arroz con coco, and they too swam in the Caribbean. At their bilingual elementary school in Northwest DC, we fly our Colombian flag high on International Night. We salsa dance in the living room, and we merengue till we just can't merengue anymore. And on that day that I called myself an imposter in that first fateful OLA board meeting, a fellow board member approached me after and said, please don't call yourself that. You belong anywhere you want to belong, and you certainly belong with us. You add so much to this community. So, in closing, I'd like to say it may have taken me half my life to get here,
but I'm honored to have finally arrived in a place I belong. Not only because of DNA, but because of a sincere desire to be with you. With such a rich, beautiful, colorful community that's way too big for a checkbox. Monty, the proud Latina, hopes to see you on the dance floor one day, and she thanks you for your time.